There's nothing really Dutch about a Dutch rabbit. The breed got its nickname because the British were calling everything Dutch at the time. Same reason people still say double Dutch. A Belgian rabbit was coming in as meat stock every week back in the 1830s. British breeders noticed it already carried markings close to what they wanted, so they refined those markings into a breed of their own. The country that meat rabbit came from had historically been a Dutch area, even though it was not anymore by then, and the name stuck. These rabbits are these little black and white jobbies, very specific black saddle across the back that does not cover their feet. Their back feet have white toes, and the black does not meet on their belly, so there is a white stripe running straight down the middle. Then they have what looks like a Batman cowl. It wraps around and makes a mask around the nose, covers the ears, and comes down the face, but it does not connect at the bottom of the chin. One more white stripe there. A full-grown one runs about 3.5 to 5.5 pounds, about the length of a ferret, somewhere around 16 inches. They were bred for fancy show rabbits. And it is funny to me that this is happening in the 1830s, a time when people were starving and always trying to manage resources. And yet that is exactly when all these pet rabbits and fancy breeder clubs start showing up. Breeders took what started as about a 9-pound meat rabbit, bred it all the way down to 1.25 pounds. In some instances, I was shocked. Why would you make a food animal smaller? Turns out they were just trying to make it pocket-sized as a pet, like a toy chihuahua. And that was not sustainable for the breed. In 1884, they set the specs. The cow cannot meet in the middle, has to be equal on both sides, cannot be off-center, has to be stark white with no other colors or spots mixed in. It turns out that is difficult to pull off. Even with 2 perfectly purebred Dutch rabbits, you can still end up with an entire litter of kits that have a little red in their fur, or a stray spot where the markings are not symmetrical. Breeders have been fighting this for a little over 200 years now. This turned into a popular, expensive breed, and that means there are counterfeiters. People take a Belgian rabbit, or any other rabbit with similar markings, and use scissors and dye to trim them up so they can sell them as a Dutch. The closest to having the same pattern is the Vienna rabbit, and Vienna rabbits get sold as Dutch often enough that it causes real problems. Breeders and buyers who drove all the way out to the countryside expecting one thing and got another. This rabbit was the #1 pet all the way up until the early 1900s. The Netherland dwarf took over. Smaller, solid color, none of those strict markings rules. Only about 0.7% of U.S. households own a pet rabbit today. Somewhere around 1 million, maybe 2 million. Even that number is hard to pin down, because it depends on how you define a pet. The Dutch is still one of the most popular breeds in the pet industry, and it is such a competitive industry. Judges spend half the entire scorecard on the markings alone.